domains, great academicians and researchers who have made this environment very, very vibrant at this morning. This is truly unique platform that AIU provides to each one of us to come together and with a cause, a special cause to shape the generations and truly nation-building activity. The Galgotias University, truly example of cultural diversity and harmony, where students from 30 states, the faculties from 28 states, and the students also from 28 countries, working hard toward round the clock to take the university on the global map. We are known for most affordable education with maximum 100% placement assurance, and our motto is student first. With this, since the day of inception 2011, we are marching towards globalization. The theme for this meet is on internationalization for transformative higher education. We may have different religion, different languages, different colored scheme, but we belong to one human race. The theme is overarching theme for the NEP implementation in line with internationalization of higher education in Indian context. The internationalization, the process of integrating an international, intercultural or global dimension into the purpose, functions and delivery of post-secondary education. Internationalization of higher education in practice, the process of commercializing research and post-secondary. We have 3 sessions in next 2 days on various topics like international admissions, tie-ups, faculty exchange, student exchange, the research collaboration, India at international level, and so on, which Dr. Pankaj Mittal will be elaborating. A few Indian higher educations already have appeared in world ranking universities, and QS22, around 35 institutions have placed, and many more would come in coming days. What is important is to focus on the latest potential of many more Indian universities who can equally do well. So further for this, probably this year's AIU North India meet is focusing on internationalization. The National Education Policy 2020, which is built on foundation pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability, recommends the path-breaking reforms that can bring the paradigm shift and taking India abroad. With this purpose, which is really would make what India is at global level, I congratulate AIU and thank as well for giving us opportunity to host this esteemed North India Vice Chancellors meet. The sincerity of the purpose shown by all of you, which makes us confident of effective implementation of the theme as well, and in the next 3 sessions, which are devoted with the presentations, deliberations, and discussion. I'm sure at the end of the meet, we'll have more clarity on the implementation roadmap as well. Once again, I extend warm welcome to Honorable Lieutenant Governor Shri Saxena ji, Dr. Das, Dr. Pankaj Mittal, Honorable Chancellor, and esteemed Vice Chancellors. Let's come unite and deliberate for the cause. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for radiating the stage with your amazed vision. Now we have amongst us Professor Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General of the Association of Indian Universities. She is one of the prominent women Secretary General of the association in its 97 years of existence. She is also the recipient of various awards and honors as President of India Award, First Padam Shri Subhashini Devi Award for contributions in societal development and community engagement. She has also served as a member of various high-powered committees and professional bodies. I'm extremely privileged to welcome Professor Pankaj Mittal to grace the stage with her presence. Ma'am, may I request you to kindly come to the stand and take this event forward. Thank you.
Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Shri Vinay Kumar Saxena ji. Respected President of AIU, Professor Suranjan Das ji, who is also the Vice Chancellor of Jabalpur University. Esteemed Chancellor of Galgotia University, Shri Sunil Galgotia ji. CEO of Galgotia, Shri Dhruv Galgotia ji. Vice Chancellor of Galgotia University, Professor Preeti Bajaj ji. Vice President of AIU, Professor G.D. Sharma ji. Past presidents and members of the Governing Council of AIU, I see many past presidents, Professor D.S. Chauhan is there, Professor Thiru Vasagam is there, and many members of the Governing Council are here. Distinguished chairpersons and speakers of the technical sessions and representatives of the apex bodies. Esteemed Vice Chancellors who have come here traveling long distance, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you to the AIU North Zone Vice Chancellors Meet on Internationalization for Transformative Higher Education. I would like to thank Galgotias University for hosting the zonal conference and making such lovely arrangements for all of you. I'm extremely grateful to the Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi for making it to this event and agreeing to our request for being the chief guest of today's program. The theme of the conference, as you all know, is internationalization for transformative higher education. Actually, every year we hold 6 conferences. One is main conference. This time the main conference will be held in the USTM University Meghalaya. The Vice Chancellor, Professor G.D. Sharma, who is also the Vice President of AIU, is also here. So that will be held on the 23rd to 25th of March 2023. So the main theme is transformative higher education for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and the 5 sub-themes of the zonal conferences are there, which lead to the main theme. And the theme for the first conference, which we are holding in the North Zone, is internationalization for transformative higher education. But before talking about the conference, let me share a little about the Association of Indian Universities, what AIU is and what are the recent achievements of AIU. So AIU is a body, as you were told, it is a 97-year-old body. It was established as the Inter-University Board on 23rd of March 1925, and it was registered as a society in 1967 as Association of Indian Universities. And stalwarts like Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji, Dr. Zakir Hussain, Dr. Mudalia, Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, they have been the presidents of AIU in the past. At present, we have a membership of around 912 universities. You know that there are around a little less than 1100 universities in the country. So out of that, 912 are the members of AIU. This includes 46 central universities, 370 state government universities, 118 deemed universities, 310 state private universities, 54 institutions of national importance, that is IITs, INIs, NITs, and we have 14 international universities as our associate members. So this is the strength of AIU. So AIU basically works as the bridge between the government and the universities. So if government has to implement something, we talk to our universities and we get it implemented. For example, implementation of NEP, AIU is playing a big role. Similarly, if universities have to voice something to the government, we are a voice for the universities. We do a lot of work with regard to capacity building of universities, research, publications, internationalizations. Especially we take care of the university vice chancellors through the vice chancellors meets, plus we hold roundtable for the newly appointed vice chancellors. We take care of the teachers by organizing many capacity building programs for the teachers. Recent is that we have established 10 AADCs. Some of the vice chancellors were AADCs here. So these are administrative and academic staff development centers where we will be training the teachers on how to use the technology for teaching learning, for assessment and evaluation, for collaborations, and even the administrative staff of the universities for governance of higher education, that is controller of examinations, registrars, finance officers and all. In sports, we do a lot of activities. You would know Khelo India University Games, which is a flagship event. 2 Khelo India University Games have been held so far. Both were inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister. The first was held in Keith University, Bhubaneswar. in 2020. It was held in 2000, 2 years back. In between, we could not hold because of the COVID. And the last Hero India University Games were held in Jain University, Bangalore. So sports, we channelize the energy of the students through sports by holding many events, around 128 events. We call it inter-university sporting championships. 128 events are held, and there are something like 120 zonal tournaments. So a lot of sports activities are held by AIU, and this time again you will be knowing for the first time Asian University Games. Volleyball is being held in Teach University, and World University Games shooting is being held in Manav Rajka University. So till now we never had the opportunity to host these games. We also do equivalence of foreign degrees with the Indian degrees, and the equivalence of PG diploma offered by non-university institutions to with the MBA, and the equivalence of fellow program with a PhD degree. And recently the government of India has also mandated us to do the equivalence of school boards. So recently 2 school boards have been approved by the AIU. Right now we are doing the computerization of AIU, complete computerization of AIU. And I hope most of the vice chancellors present here have logged into the AIU portal. Right now, 2 things are very active. One is AIU handbook, which we bring out after every 4 years. And in this handbook, the complete information about the university is there, and all the international as well as national universities refer to that handbook. So it is in your interest to fill up the information for the AIU handbook through the online portal. So unless you fill the information about your university will not appear in the handbook. So please fill up that information. Plus AIU VC seniority portal. So I have seen 3 days back only one VC was talking to me that he is not on the governing council, but the reason was he didn't fill the VC seniority portal. So please fill up the VC seniority portal, because that determines who will be the president, vice president of AIU, who will be in the governing council. And many times the government also asks us the information that who are the senior VCs in the country. So please do fill in the AIU VC seniority portal. 2-3 major initiatives I will talk about. One is AIU consultancy services. This again we have recently started because many universities were finding it difficult to say achieve good rating in NAC or to get good ranking, and they didn't know how to go about it. So we are starting the AIU consultancy services to provide consultancy to the universities that how to prepare documents, how to go in for NAC rating, NIRF ranking, implementation of NEP, internationalization of higher education, university industry linkages, SDG implementations, all these things we are trying to help the universities. And the present conference is on internationalization, so I'll talk about internationalization, that we are now establishing a network called INHI, Indian Network of International Higher Education, and that network will be promoting internationalization in India. You know that right now, if you talk of the number of students, around 10 to 12 lakh students go out of the country and only 48,000 come to India, and that too from the neighboring countries only. So we want that India should become a destination for affordable quality education. So for promoting internationalization in the universities, we have established this network, because when we meet the vice chancellors, many vice chancellors say that we want to do internationalization, but we don't know how to go about it, whom to talk to, whom to collaborate with. So we are making this network to help our member universities to promote internationalization. Now, the 5 conferences, zonal conferences, which we will be holding as a theme to the main conference of transformative higher education for Atmanirbhar Bharat, which will be held in USDM Meghalaya. This is the first conference in Galgotias. The theme is internationalization of higher education. The second conference will be held, the Vice Chancellor is right here, in ICFAI, Sikkim. The theme will be transformative pedagogies and technologies in higher education. This will be from 13 to 14 December. The Central University Vice Chancellor will be in Symbiosis University, Indore. Transformative curriculum for holistic and multidisciplinary higher education. South Zone Conference will be held in Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. The theme will be research and excellence in higher education. And the West Zone Conference will be held on 21st to 22nd February at Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. And the theme will be evaluation reforms in higher education. So why we chose this theme for Galgotia was that you know that in NEP, For the first time, a lot of importance has been given to internationalization. The NEP talks about establishing foreign campuses on Indian soil. Our universities will be going out and establishing their campuses. There is a provision for joint degrees, dual degrees, twinning programs, transfer of credits is allowed, and then international students office in every university has been made mandatory if you really want to host international students. So because of this, we thought that we should be promoting internationalization in a big way. One, to implement NEP, second, to transform higher education. So this two-day event will be having 3 technical sessions. Technical session 1 will be on international student and faculty mobility, how to ensure that the faculty and student mobility is there. Technical session 2 will be on international collaborations with research and teaching, that how to forge collaborations. Technical session 3 will be on promoting Indian higher education abroad. So these 3 sessions will be there for the 2 days, and I am sure that this will really benefit the academia. And the recommendations of this conference will also be sent to the government if they want to take some policy decisions, depending on the conference of vice chancellors we are holding today. So all the best for the conference, and I'm sure the contributions made by each one of you will really enrich the recommendations of this particular conference. Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your resourceful perspectives with us. An institution like Galgotias cannot be possible without the endless efforts of a visionary like Honorable Shri Sunil Galgotia. Mr. Sunil Galgotia is the Honorable Chancellor of Galgotias University. A man of great vision and immense business acumen, he has visualized the need for a temple of higher learning in the remote areas of Greater Noida. He has transformed his vision into reality in the form of Galgotias University. His passion for institution building won him many laurels across the globe. A great supporter of innovation, he firmly believes that sustainable economic growth and development in society can be pitched only through innovation, and therefore there is a need for inducing innovative abilities in young minds. Now, may I request Sir to kindly come on the stage to address the gathering.
Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Shri Vinay Kumar Saxena ji, Professor Suranjan Das, President AIU, Professor Pankaj Mittal, General Secretary AIU, Professor Preeti Bajaj, Vice Chancellor, Galgotias University, Honorable Vice Chancellors, and distinguished guests. It is truly an honor to be hosting this year's first North Zone Vice Chancellors Meet 22-23 by the Association of Indian Universities at Galgotias University. Today, we are privileged to have some of the finest minds in the field of education representing the most prestigious universities of India here at Galgotias University. We firmly believe that such collaboration meets with collective meets which involves stalwarts from the field of education, sharing the best practices, success stories and challenges will not only upgrade the quality of education in the country, but will ensure a healthy competition which will drive up the student and faculty experience in academics and research. Today, Indian education is changing at a pace never seen before. With the implementation of NEP, universities are now open and more receptive to quality policies and good practices, thereby bringing academic excellence at the forefront. The topics ranging from internationalization of higher education for Atmanirbhar Bharat, international collaboration in research, to promoting higher education abroad are not only relevant subjects of discussion but need collaborative deliberations which will strengthen the outcome and bring clarity of thought when implementing the takeaways by various academic leaders present here today. Galgotias University is home to international students from 28 countries, and we firmly believe that without diversity and exchange of culture, our university is incomplete. The importance of student exchange programs, cultural exchange programs, faculty exchange programs, research collaborations is well known to universities globally. It is indeed an honor to have the presence of His Excellency, the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, Shri Vinay Kumar Saxena ji, who is passionate about education himself and is going to be grassroots level to bring up the standards of quality of education in Delhi. Thank you, sir, for taking our time for this inaugural session and motivating and guiding us to do even better. AIU has always been proactively at the forefront when it comes to all relevant and important events related to higher education. And I appreciate the efforts and commitment in bringing out all the best from the 912 universities under AIU from across India. I do hope that AIU will further entrust us with the posting of National VC Meet in the future. I wish everyone an engaging session. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद कुलाधिपति महोदय, आपके विचार हमारे लिए हमेशा ही प्रेरणा का स्रोत रहे हैं। यह अत्यंत हर्ष का गर्व का विषय है कि आज हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं प्रोफेसर सुरंजन दास, भारतीय विश्वविद्यालय संघ के अध्यक्ष। मैं अत्यंत गर्व के साथ अध्यक्ष महोदय का परिचय कराना चाहूंगी। Professor Suranjan Das is the professor of the Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi, and the Vice Chancellor of Chancellors University, Kolkata. He is also the honorary professor at the University of Exeter, UK. Earlier, Professor Das served the University of Calcutta as the Professor of History, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Vice Chancellor. Professor Das is a distinguished fellow, Australia India Institute, University of Melbourne, honorary professor at the University of Health, visiting professor of the British Academy and visiting scholars to many national and international universities. श्रीमान महोदय, आप अपने विचारों से यहाँ उपस्थित अतिथि गणों का संचालन करें।
Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, respected Shri Vinay Kumar Saxena ji, respected Chancellor of Galgotias University, Shri Sunil Galgotias ji, respected CEO of Galgotias University, my esteemed colleague at the AIU, the Honorable Secretary General, Dr. Pankaj Mittal, esteemed Vice Chancellor of Galgotias University, Dr. Preeti Bajaj, esteemed Registrar of Galgotias University, Dr. Nitin Gaur, my esteemed colleague Vice Chancellors, and other distinguished members of the House, which include, among others, the esteemed Vice President of AIU, Professor Sharma, my immediate predecessor, Professor Thirubasagam, other past presidents of the AIU. I'm happy to find amongst us Professor Chauhan after a long time, other colleagues of mine of the host university, and friends from the media. Could I, on my own behalf and on behalf of the AIU, warmly and sincerely thank Galgotias University, especially the respected Chancellor and the esteemed Vice Chancellor, for hosting the 2022 North Zone Vice Chancellors Meet. I shan't take much of your time, since we are eagerly waiting to hear Honorable Sri Saxena, and we're indeed grateful to him for being with us today, sir. It is indeed apt that discussion on internationalization of India's higher education is a focal point of the present meet, since, as Dr. Mittal mentioned, the NEP 2020 has aptly stressed the internationalization of higher education, and internationalization remains an essential ingredient in today's discourse on higher education. But it is perhaps pertinent to point out that international connections in higher education is fundamentally not a new process. Internationalism is inherent in university education, and by definition, university is concerned with universalization of education. And India has a great tradition of internationalization in higher education, going back to more than 2000 years, and I referred to the experiments in Takshashila and Nalanda. Subsequently, the front-ranking Indian universities like Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi University, Jamia Millia, whose Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, is present in the House, Calcutta, Madras, Mumbai, and Pune universities, among others, established international academic connections. But today, when we discuss the internationalization of higher education, we deliberate in a changed international context, resulting from globalization and inclusion of education as a service sector in the GATS regime. So now when we speak of internationalization of higher education, we do so in a broader competitive context. And India has to join this process of internationalization to make our education vibrant and compatible with the challenges of the time. India has sought to initiate the process of internationalization of higher education by proposing the Foreign Educational Institutions Bill 2020. However, that bill never became an act and nothing followed from it. But with the NEP 2020, internationalization of Indian higher education is receiving a new booster and a concrete shape. Various schemes have now already been announced, and Dr. Mittal has already referred to them, and AIU, under the leadership of Dr. Mittal, is also effectively participating in that process. Most importantly, as Dr. Mittal mentioned, there will be now foreign campuses in India, and our institutions of eminence will establish their own campuses abroad. However, we need to be aware that internationalization does not necessarily entail physical campuses of foreign universities in India, but there is also what is now called transnational education, where students in India would be able to take advantage of teaching learning process of foreign universities without actually spending the full tenure of a course in a foreign university. This system is being particularly promoted by British universities, and we need to take advantage of it. An important challenge for India's higher education is employability. The Confederation of Indian Industries find only 25% of technical graduates and 10 to 15% of other graduates as instantly employable. This is particularly alarming since the countries under 35 years of age will account for 1/4 of the global workforce by the end of the 2020s. Here, transnational education can help Indian universities to develop industry-compatible courses which have already attained great heights in the Euro-American world, Australia, Japan, and China. Yet, when we join the process of internationalization of higher education, we need to be aware of certain concerns, and I take the opportunity of identifying some of them. First, we need to encourage the foreign providers not to restrict themselves with market-oriented and demand-driven professional and technical disciplines, but also to be involved with teaching learning process in humanities and social sciences. This is required since the NEP 2020 rightly stresses the imparting of holistic knowledge. Secondly, foreign universities need to be encouraged to go beyond metro cities. Otherwise, the regional and geographical imbalances in the spread of quality higher education in the country will be further strengthened, which again goes against the spirit of the NEP. Thirdly, access to foreign courses or foreign campuses should be such that students across class, caste, and gender can take advantage of the internationalization of higher education. Otherwise, we will be creating a new social divide amongst our student population, which again would be going against the dictum of the NEP. At the same time, it is pertinent to remember that internationalization of higher education is not really a brick and mortar question. Mere physical infrastructure is not the real issue here. Recent studies show establishment of a foreign campus will not automatically ensure the implementation of the best practices of that foreign university. What we need is to imbibe the whole environment, the atmosphere, and the entire academic climate which have been developed by the world-class universities through ages. Fourthly, as we go in for internationalization of higher education, our higher education institutions should be prepared for foreign competition. And higher education institutions, especially the public universities, look forward to receiving adequate support, state support in this direction. At the same time, it is necessary to ensure that this competition occurs in a level playing field. There need not be a situation where there is one set of law for foreign providers and another set of laws for Indian institutions. I thought I would be taking the advantage of the presence of Dr. Shaw Shubude, the Honorable President of the ICCR, to make a suggestion. But since he is unable to be present here, could I request Dr. Mittal to share the suggestion with Dr. Shaw Shubude? Now, many of the public universities, especially the state universities, are forced to admit foreign students far disproportionate to the demand, since these universities do not have quality hostels for foreign students. I would request ICCR to explore the possibility of having at least one international students hostel in every state through joint initiatives of central and state governments, which could be availed of by all universities of that particular state. This would instantly increase the number of foreign students in the country. Surely, compared to the countries which won independence almost at the same time as India did, what we call in history the period of decolonization, our country has attained considerable success in the sphere of the internationalization of education. But much more needs to be done if, for example, we are to overtake China. Participation in the internationalization process is certainly the sine qua non for the survival of the Indian higher education system. But this participation has to be in terms of Indian needs and requirements and in tune with the principles of inclusiveness, equity, and access. Its content needs to be holistic and not fragmented, in tune with the ideals of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Internationalization needs to be envisaged in the context of our cultural and social pluralism, strike a balance between tradition and modernity, and in consonance with Indian value and knowledge system, which NEP rightly stresses. Interestingly, as early as June 1929, Rabindranath Tagore had stressed, and I quote, education in all its different forms and channels has its ultimate purpose in the evolving of a luminous sphere of human mind from the nebula that has been rushing round ages to find in itself an eternal center of unity, unquote. Let me in this connection quote from a perceptive commentator, and I quote, education must remain the public arena where tolerance, mutual respect, and understanding and the ability to cooperate are cultivated. Just as it offers opportunities for individual development and advancement, it must also strive to promote civic identity and civic competence and to make possible a democratic and cohesive society. Education cannot ignore the realities of the global market, but nor can it surrender to global commodification, unquote. Now, the general reaction to such a proposition of viewing education as a unifying project could well be that it is an ideal which is doomed to remain an illusion in a consumerist and individualistic world. But as Barton Russell succinctly reminded us, and I quote, the whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, but wiser people are so full of doubts, unquote. And then while raising certain issues concerning internationalization of higher education, let me, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, take solace from this particular quote of Barton Russell. Thank you very much indeed.
धन्यवाद महोदय, आपके विचारों से सभा में नई ऊर्जा का संचालन हुआ है। अगर आप दूसरों को ज्यादा करने, ज्यादा सपने देखने के लिए प्रेरित करते हैं, तो आप एक नेता हैं। ऐसे ही नेता श्री विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी, दिल्ली के उपराज्यपाल, आज हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं। यह गलगोटियास विश्वविद्यालय के लिए गर्व का विषय है। Shri Vinay Kumar Saxena ji, the 22nd Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, enriched with 3 decades of vast experience in the corporate and social sectors. Shri Saxena ji is the first corporate man ever selected for such a prestigious post. Earlier, he served Khadi and Village Industries Commission as the chairman and was the CEO and director of the Greenfield Dholera Port project. In recognition of this sharp social, cultural, political and administrative acumen, the Government of India nominated Shri Saxena ji as a member of the National Committee to commemorate 75th anniversary of Indian independence. मैं महोदय उपराज्यपाल जी से निवेदन करती हूँ कि वह मंच पे आए और यहाँ सभा में उपस्थित समस्त गणमान्यों को सम्मानित करें।
President, AIU and VC, Jadavpur University, Professors Surjana Dasji, Secretary General, AIU, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, Chancellor, Galgotia University, Shri Galgotia ji, Vice Chancellor, Galgotia University, Dr. Preeti Bajaj ji, CEO, Galgotia University, Shri Dhruv Galgotia ji, all Vice Chancellors of Northern Zone, faculty members, members of the media, and my dear students. I am happy to be present on this occasion of Association of Indian Universities North Zone Vice Chancellors meet. It is indeed a pleasure to be addressing this august gathering of teachers, academicians, educationists, mentors, and administrators who are at the cutting edge of shaping India's future generation. At the outset, I would like to quote the great teacher, philosopher, the Vice Chancellor himself, a diplomat and our former President, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, and I quote, "True teachers are those who help us think for ourselves." This simple one line not only defines the roles that our gurus play, but also underlines the extreme importance of your role in shaping the lives and futures of our students. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, the universities of our nation are inheritors of our glorious legacies of Takshila, Nalanda, Vikramshila, and Ratupati, and our teachers, those of Aryabhatta, Panini, Gargi, Chanakya, Swami Vivekananda, and Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, to name a few. Students and scholars from across the world congregated at these temples of education to hone their knowledge and upgrade their skills. We were the unquestioned world leaders in the sphere of academics and higher education till at least the early Middle Ages. I would not hesitate in saying that after a hiatus of about a millennia, higher education in India again received a flip in the shape of universities at Calcutta, Madras, Bombay, Allahabad, and Patna, to name a few. The nationalist education stream, represented by Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, Vishwa Bharati University, and Shantiniketan, along with Indian Institutes of Science at Bangalore, amongst others, provided a solid footing of higher education once again. However, even as we made remarkable progress in setting up new institutions like IITs, IIMs, and AIMS, etc., after independence, somewhere we seem to have lost our edge and focus. This is more than apparent in the fact that apart from the above-mentioned institutions and a few others, most of our universities and other institutions of higher learning became degree distributing and graduate and postgraduate producing perfectory mills. Not only this, even institutions like IITs and IIMs, along with other universities of repute, became training institutions for producing young graduates for employment by corporate houses and feeder cadre for admissions into postgraduates and research programs in universities abroad. It is a telling statement on the state of affairs in our higher education ecosystem that as many as 1.3 million students from India are studying in universities spread across 85 countries, mostly Anglophone nations like Canada, United States, and Australia, apart from others. More than 2 lakh students leave India for studies abroad every year at an average. Apart from underlining their higher education needs are not being fulfilled indigenously, this trend also reflects the incapacity on the part of our Indian universities to sustain and promote quality higher education. It also amounts to transfer our precious foreign exchange that could as well we have gone into strengthening our own higher education. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, our institutions have increasingly lagged behind in the sphere of fundamental and basic research in pure sciences as well as social sciences and liberal arts. The fact that none of after C. Raman got a Nobel Prize for research undertaken in an Indian university is another statement that requires pondering upon. Be it Hargobind Khurana, who passed out from Punjab University, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, who passed out from Madras University, Martya Sen, who passed out from Calcutta University, Venkat Raman, who passed out from MS University, Baroda, or Abhijit Banerjee, who passed out from Calcutta University, all got recognition for their works in universities abroad, where they went after completing their basic degrees in the Indian universities. Friends, despite boasting of a robust higher education ecosystem that comprises about 1,100 universities, 42,000 colleges, and 1,200 standalone institutions that cater to more than a billion people in the fifth largest economy of the world, none of universities are even in the top 150 universities of the world. The highest that we have reached is achieving as 174th rank of IIT Delhi. JNU is between 600 to 650 category. Delhi University is 521 to 553 category, and Jamia Millia Islamia is 800 above bracket on various parameters. In fact, all these have slipped further from their previous rankings. To my mind, the task before us is clearly cut out. We have to strive towards a comprehensive transformation that seeks to balance academics, research, employability, specialization, skilling, personality development in a holistic manner that at the same time addresses the needs and requirements of every individual, students, and faculty. Friends, all of you are experts and doyens of your own fields. It is not for me to outline for you that ways and means that will be required to achieve these goals that ultimately lead to Indian universities becoming world leaders, where students from across the world are proximate for higher education and trend of our students going and the trend of our students going abroad is reversed. You already have many unique advantages that your peers abroad do not have. To my mind, primary among them is the commitment of our government in supporting higher education by providing resources. You also have a vast student pool to fill your classrooms and a corporate sector to absorb your graduates. Given concentrated and innovative endeavors, I find no reason why you should not be amongst the top 100 or even top 10 universities of the world. Let us, in our deliberations over the next couple of days, fix ourselves concrete goals in this direction and undertake to consistently and concurrently evaluate the steps taken for attaining these goals in a periodic manner. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, towards the end, I would like to solicit your attention towards some issues of immediate attention, and I would like to list them. Number one, internationalization of higher education in India that ensures recognition of our degrees abroad through a process of mutual accreditations. Degree recognition and credit transfers should be undertaken and expedited forthwith. This would ensure that our demographic dividend is utilized gainfully and without any obstruction. In countries that are facing demographic decline, countries with larger graying population like Japan, Germany, Scandinavian, European, and other are suitable workplaces for our young graduates as well as specialty scholars. In this direction, strengthening our global initiative for academic network with additional linkages with institutions like ICSSR, ICCR, and UGC, etc., will ensure seamless progression. Similarly, another area of focus also inaugurated in the National Education Policy 2020 is the promotion of academic and research collaboration. This will ensure that the much needed push to research is provided through collaborations and institutions abroad that are already excelling in related spheres. Even as we go ahead in operationalization, these measures, we should simultaneously work towards promotion of Indian higher education abroad with a focus on making India a receiver country of students rather than the center. Let India become the destination country for international students. I'm sure that with committed focus on the above mentioned, the theme of the Zonal Vice Chancellors Conference, Transformative Higher Education for Atmanirbhar Bharat, will sooner than later achieve fruition. Friends, I can see here a lot of lecturers, professors, and students are sitting here. मैंने देखा है कि जब कोई बहुत रेप्यूटेड इंस्टीट्यूशन से डिग्री होल्डर होता है, वो हमेशा जो उन यूनिवर्सिटीज को जहां से जो बच्चा पढ़ के निकला है, जिसने उस यूनिवर्सिटी की बहुत रेपुटेशन नहीं है, वो उसे एक छोटी सी दृष्टि से देखता है, उसे छोटा देखता है। मैं आज ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जब आप किसी को बहुत छोटा देखते हैं, या तो आप उसे दूर से देखते हैं या अपने गुरूर से देखते हैं। तो शिक्षा का मतलब आपके अंदर गुरूर नहीं आना चाहिए। और एक बात मैं और अंत में कहना चाहूंगा कि डिग्रियां तो सिर्फ पढ़ाई के खर्च की रसीदें होती हैं। शिक्षा वही है जो आपका व्यवहार दीक्षा है।
Thank you, sir, for your incredible, outstanding, inspirational thoughts. Now it's an hour of great honor that now it's time for University Press Release. University News is a weekly journal of higher education brought out by the Association of Indian Universities. It is the journal catering to Indian higher education system for the last 93 years. It contains articles, news, opinions, as well as important issues of higher education from scholars all over the world, and it is popular for the richness of its content and clockwise regularity. For this North Zone Vice Chancellors meet, special issue of newsletter on internationalization of higher education has been brought out. Dr. Rama Devi Pani is the chief editor of the University News for the last 23 years. In her 23 years of editorship, she ensured clockwise regularity for the publication and richness of its content. She has brought around 200 thematic issues on topics of contemporary significance. Now, I invite Dr. Rama Devi Pani, Chief Editor, to join the dais for the release of this prestigious university news.
मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ मुख्य अतिथि श्री विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी को। सभी गणमान्यों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं अब आमंत्रित करती हूँ विश्वविद्यालय के कुलाधिपति श्री सुनील गलगोटिया जी का कि वह शॉल देकर माननीय मुख्य अतिथि श्री विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी को सम्मानित करें। मैं इसी के साथ आमंत्रित करती हूँ मुख्य कार्यकारी अधिकारी श्री ध्रुव गलगोटिया जी को कि वह स्मृति चिन्ह देकर माननीय मुख्य अतिथि का सम्मान करें। मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ अध्यक्ष महोदय प्रोफेसर सुरेंद्र दास जी को कि वह स्मृति चिन्ह देकर मुख्य अतिथि जी का सम्मान करें। मैं निवेदन करती हूँ पंकज मित्तल मैडम जी से कि वह स्मृति चिन्ह देकर हमारे कुलाधिपति श्री सुनील गलगोटिया जी का सम्मान करें। मैं पुनः मंच पर आमंत्रित करती हूँ माननीय कुलाधिपति को कि वह श्रीमान सुरंजन दास जी को शॉल से सम्मानित करें। पुनः निवेदन है मुख्य कार्यकारी अधिकारी ध्रुव गलगोटिया जी का कि वह स्मृति चिन्ह देकर उनका सम्मान बढ़ाएं। मैं पुनः सुनील गलगोटिया जी से निवेदन करूंगी कि वह महासचिव पंकज मित्तल जी को शॉल देकर सम्मानित करें। पुनः मेरा निवेदन है ध्रुव गलगोटिया जी से कि वह स्मृति चिन्ह देकर मैम को सम्मानित करें। सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
I would now like to invite Dr. Nitin Gaur, Registrar Galgotias University, to propose the vote of thanks and to express our indebtedness towards the dignitaries on the dais.
Thank you, ma'am. Vote of thanks बड़ा ही कठिन विषय होता है किसी भी व्यक्ति के लिए, क्योंकि किसी भी कार्यक्रम के शुरुआत से लेकर और उसके समापन तक की सारे फूलों को एक माला में पिरोना पड़ता है, और अगर कोई एक फूल कहीं छूट जाता है तो वो सोचता है कि कहीं मेरी इतनी मेहनत का कहीं फल निराधार तो नहीं हो गया। तो सर्वप्रथम मैं अपने मुख्य अतिथि श्री विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी, उपराज्यपाल दिल्ली क्षेत्र का धन्यवाद करता हूं और उनको तालियों के साथ स्वागत करना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने अपना व्यस्ततम समय निकालकर हमारे विश्वविद्यालय को दिया और इस प्रोग्राम में अपना समय दिया है। पुनः गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो बताए। ये आप सभी लोगों ने सुना होगा कि जब गुरु और ईश्वर साथ में हो तो किसके पांव पहले छूने चाहिए। यहाँ तो बहुत बड़ी दुर्ता है, यहाँ तो मेरे पास गुरुओं का भी सभी का समावार लगा हुआ है। और मैं आप देखिए मंच की तरफ देखिए, एक ग्रेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर श्री विनय कुमार सक्सेना जी, उसके बाद एकेडमिशियंस हमारे प्रोफेसर श्री सुरजन दास जी, डॉक्टर पंकज मित्तल जी और हमारे वाइस चांसलर जो जगह जगह से आए हुए हैं। इनसे मिलना तो दूर, बात करना तो दूर, अगर एक बार चरण स्पर्श करने का मौका भी मिल जाए तो शायद इस जन्म में गंगा नहाने की आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ेगी। तो ऐसे गुरुओं का, ऐसे लोगों से सीखने का मौका मिलता है। एक प्रोफेसर वाइस चांसलर हमारे यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, प्रोफेसर दिनेश कुमार जी, मैं उनको अपना गुरु मानता हूँ। उन्होंने एक बार बहुत डांट लगाई थी मुझ में, और ये मैंने कसम खाई थी कि उनकी बातों को मैं जीवन पर्यंत याद रखूंगा और हमेशा सीखूंगा कि हाँ उन्होंने क्या सिखाया है। तो उनके लिए भी एक बार जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए। चाणक्य ने कहा था कि शिक्षक कभी सामान्य नहीं होता, निर्णय निर्माण और प्रलय उसकी गोद में खेलते हैं। तो सत्य है, इतने हमारे नॉर्थ जोन जो है वो भारत माता का शीश कहा जाता है, और उस क्षेत्र के सारे वाइस चांसलर्स यहाँ पर हैं जिनके हाथों में देश का भविष्य, छात्रों का भविष्य जुड़ा हुआ है। मैं आप सभी से प्रार्थना करता हूं कि इसी तरीके से आप सभी लोग जो है हमारे देश को, हमारे छात्रों को प्रेरणा देते रहें, उनको सीखते रहें, ताकि हमारा भारत आगे बढ़े और आगे बढ़ता रहे। मैं उन सभी लोगों का जो इस प्रोग्राम से जुड़े हुए हैं, उन सभी का धन्यवाद देता हूं। जिस व्यक्ति ने शुरू से लेकर आखिर तक काम किया है, इतना उस प्रोग्राम को सफल बनाने के लिए कार्य किया है, मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं गलगोटिया विश्वविद्यालय का की तरफ से कि उन्होंने इतना मेहनत किया और इस प्रोग्राम को इस मुकाम तक पहुंचाया। उसके उपरांत मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं अपने कुलाधिपति श्री सुनील गलगोटिया जी का, सीईओ श्री ध्रुव गलगोटिया जी का, और वाइस चांसलर मैम डॉक्टर प्रीति बजाज मैम का, क्योंकि इनके आदेशों से, इनके निर्देशों के अनुसार ही हम काम करते हैं, और हम चाहते हैं कि हर कार्यक्रम सफल हो और हमारे विश्वविद्यालय का नाम सर्वोदय विश्वविद्यालयों में देश के गिना जाए। तो मैं अधिक ना समय लेते हुए आप सभी का धन्यवाद करता हूं। गलगोटिया विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, sir, for your exhilarating thanking note. Now I have an announcement to make. We shall proceed for group photography. I will call dignitaries on the dais and participating vice chancellors for group photography. I request volunteers to escort the vice chancellor.
The group photograph will be outside this block C. This is block C, and outside block C we have group photograph.
Priyanshu, cut करें। अभिषेक फॉलो कर ले, फॉलो।